Hey Scorpio, so it's me Alexis. Welcome back to my astrology channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a new moon horoscope and tarot reading. It's going to be for the new moon in Libra on September 28th, so if you are a Scorpio Sun or Rising, this is going to be the video for you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. If you guys like my content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. So, Scorpio. For this new moon, it's going to be in 5 degrees Libra. It's going to happen on September 28th, and there is going to be a square between the transiting Venus and the transiting Pluto in Capricorn. So it's going to be a 3-degree orb, and I want to bring this up because, you know, Venus is going to be the ruling planet for Libra, and Libra is the planet of Venus is the planet of relationships and connections, and Libra kind of expresses this energy by, you know, being, you know, external connections. So like actual relationships, socialization, balance, fairness, justice, you know, when I think of Libra, Libra tends to really focus on the give and take of relationships. So with that being said, you know, this new moon is going to be taking place in your 12th house, and then the transiting Pluto will be in your 3rd house, which will be squaring the transiting Venus in your 12th house. So this new moon for you guys is going to be a bit more reflective. It's going to be more internal for sure. So the 12th house is kind of the house of the unknown. You know, everything that kind of slips by you without you noticing is kind of the 12th house. So kind of like, you know, actions that you do without thinking, or, you know, people say the subconscious. The 12th house is also, you know, the house of isolation to me. So when you're kind of by yourself and, you know, you're really just truly alone. One way that I kind of personalize or kind of think of the 12th house is, you know, the 12th house is basically kind of like who you are right before you go to bed. And you're kind of just by yourself in between being conscious versus subconscious or unconscious, and you're kind of just slipping out, being awake versus not awake. It's like that solitary moment right before you go to bed. And Scorpio, with Libra ruling your 12th house, you know, and the new moon being there, I really think that this time is great for you guys in terms of trying to implement a deep inner peace within yourself. You know, maybe for the past few weeks, you know, you haven't been able to sleep at night very well. Maybe there's things that kind of eat at you whenever, you know, you're trying to go to bed, and there's things that just kind of consume you. And the reason why I bring that up is because the transiting Pluto is going through your 3rd house, and it's scoring, you know, the transiting Venus in your 12th. So like maybe there's some negative thoughts that you have right before you go to bed. Maybe, you know, before you go to bed, you ask yourself, you know, was I really fair when I did that? Or was I really right when I did that? Like all these like little questions of like self-doubt and whether you were fair and considerate. You know, maybe these are things that you kind of think about before you go to bed. And now there's a time for you to kind of like, you know, put on a clean slate and be like, okay, you know, I really want to be at peace with myself. Let's be honest with myself and to be fair to myself so that I can, you know, at least sleep at night and be at peace with yourself. Like, if I had to kind of put your, you know, new moon horoscope in a nutshell, your goal here is to be at peace, ultimately. Like, you don't want things to kind of eat at you away in the back of your mind. You want your mind to be nice and clear, fair, hopefully positive, and honestly, you know, considerate also. So honestly, Scorpio, this could be a nice time for you to kind of do like a little mental cleanup. This is a good time for you to kind of monitor your thoughts and what you're saying to yourself, and whether, you know, whatever you're saying is good for you or not. Because at the end of the day, Scorpio, you know, your physical body is powerful. It can do many great things, but your mind is also very powerful. And sometimes you gotta, you know, you gotta clean it out a bit sometimes. And it's okay. It's okay too, because, you know, our minds can get really cluttered, and then with everything happening to us, like sometimes it can be overwhelming. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of see what the cards have to say. Oh man, I feel like it's just relationships for everyone, man. Like this new moon in Libra slaps with the relationships. Scorpio, here are the cards that I got for you. I got Judgment. I got the 8 of Cups. And I got Strength. So looking at this, you know, whenever I usually see the Eight of Cups, I think of a person who has walked from a situation or relationship that wasn't really emotionally beneficial to them. This is kind of like leaving in an abusive or maybe toxic kind of relationship, and you're kind of, you know, turning the page and you're just kind of like, yep, it's time for me to go. Let's get out of here. So like that's the Eight of Cups to me. It's finally leaving a situation that needed to be left. So there's that. I got Strength. So I kind of looked at these two cards together, and you know, I really still think that this new moon is more of a solitary or maybe reflective kind of new moon, just because, you know, with this reading, I feel like this is definitely a time of like self-evaluation. Sorry, like I brought up the cards back up again, but it's definitely a time of self-evaluation. I feel like, you know, when I see the Judgment card, I'm like, oh, someone's making a decision, someone is making a judgment, because hello, Judgment card. And I think you are making a judgment for yourself. I think you are the person that you're judging right now. And I think the goal of all of this really is that by the end of all of it, you're going to be stronger than ever, you're going to be self-sufficient, and you're going to, you know, ultimately believe in your own strength and your positives. So I think you're at a point where like you really want to believe in your strengths and to believe what you positively embody. And you know, I don't know, I mean for some of you, maybe if someone actually left your life, or if you left someone because they didn't want you to be that strong, self-sufficient person, maybe that's the way to go. Maybe, you know, this could reflect how maybe some of your relationships have been privately been eating at you away, but you kind of ignored it because just kind of like, you know, it's whatever. But then like it keeps on eating at you every once in a while, and it like kind of stresses you out, but like it's always in the back of your mind. Maybe it's kind of talking about that, where like, you know, there are some relationships that need to go because like honestly, if they're gonna eat at the back of your mind, they're gonna eat your whole mind anyway, and you gotta stop it before they just consume you whole. So I feel like a lot of this is a mental challenge. A lot of these challenges tends to depend on like, you know, is this person giving you inner peace? Do you give yourself inner peace? Like what moves do you have to make yourself sleep well at night? How about that? Yeah, I think that's one way to put it. Because depending on what it is, at the end of the day, like, you know, you have to be fair, and you have to be, you know, I mean, fair to yourself, obviously, with the Judgment and Strength card. And, you know, if there's someone out there who really doesn't want you to embody the positivity or the strength that you embody, then yeah, you gotta let them go if there's people in your life who don't give you that sense of inner peace. So, Scorpio, like I said before, I stand by what I said. Your goal here is to achieve inner peace. And if you're not achieving that inner peace, then there is something about yourself that you may need to let go of so that you can kind of start thinking more peacefully and more considerably. And if this is another person though, then maybe this person needs to go. So it's not really clear on whether this is another person or not. And I think with that implication, I think my deck is saying like, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's a relationship or whether it's you. You know, being mentally unrest could be a battle started by yourself or with another person. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're fighting a battle right now on whether, you know, you should, you know, you're battling like an inner battle of peace right now. It doesn't really matter who started the war. What matters is that you win it. So, yeah, Scorpio, that's pretty much my gist for your new moon. I hope that this will find you in peace, and I hope you guys have a great new moon.